Hello, hello, hello. I won't say good morning because it's not morning. I am recording it this morning, but you guys are seeing this around noon or later in the afternoon. It is Friday, so happy Friday. And we are here for a flip through. This is Jolene with the Jewel Design. And today we are doing, instead of doing a journal with me this week, we are doing a flip through, finally, of the finished Heroes in Retro Traveler's Notebook. Full journal, all done, at least to the best of my ability, because I feel from here on out, this journal needs the personal touch. It needs its memorabilia, it needs its stories, it needs its memories, right? And so I've done a little bit of tweaking. It's more in the cover, it's more on the inside cover. I put a new element to it and left you some of the pieces ready to go so that you could then just make the most of it. Now, since Heroes in Retro, as I've said in the past, and I will not repeat myself too much because I want to keep this as short as I can. As someone told me the other day, you're a little winded, woman. Yes, I love to talk. I love to talk as much as I love to craft and design. I'm a people person when I get to be around people. And so, yes, I do apologize for that if my videos are a little winded or a little long. As much as I try to keep them short, time flies by faster than I can imagine. So, after our 48-minute digital reveal, I'll try to keep this flip through short. But this was this whole project, from the digitals to the planner, sorry. It's also like Planner Friday too for me. This book was in honor of the women in the military, the women on the front lines, the women who mostly, and there are men though, who are and were on the front lines of our pandemic here in the United States and all over the world. Nurses are everywhere. And I picked the vintage imagery from the World War I and II and all the ones that we've dealt with, and they were here and taking care of the sick. They were in the tents behind the front lines, taking care of our men across, overseas. And our nurses today that have done so much to make the most of the situations that we've been through. So it definitely has just a lot of feel behind it, and I hope whoever buys this has some of that same love and respect and honor of the women who work so hard in our day-to-day lives. So you did get to see me work on the cover as we reworked it a couple weeks back during our June retro design month. And so we got a collage. We got that fun paper tissue mesh edging to give a feel of the cast material. I even finally found some gauzy fabric, so that was sort of fun to help fine-tune to and give a little bit of oomph to the project. I put the corners on just to give it more stability, but this thing is pretty stout for a cover. And because there's 4 signatures in it, we get to see the stretchy bands to make it the Traveler's Notebook that we wanted. Okay. Have a little tag in the back that says handmade by. All right. I still have to put my signature label in here somewhere. I haven't decided where to put it so it's not too obvious for you guys and it doesn't get in the way of the design, but it's on there so you know who made it. And we've just tied it with the fun canvas stuff, which is unraveling, but I think that's a good spot for it. And it's just tied in knots on the end here to keep it from coming out, I hope, and that way you don't have to keep restringing it through, because that was my biggest problem. I had 5 different ways to do this, and I was like, no one wants to have to keep trying to weed this through the hole. Plus, when I wrapped it, it blocked the beauty, the word, and so I couldn't do that. I had to find another way to do it. But anyway, it's easy to tie and untie. Now, the front cover is a little rounded from all the liquid, all the fun I did with it. It's a little rounded, but you might see it from the top. You can sort of tell it does round in a little bit. But that does give it a great feel for the book, too. So, I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's, again, it gives it sort of perfectly imperfect. It definitely gives you a junk journal feel. This was used, again, with cereal box, cardboard. It's, we're using fabrics. We've got scraps. We've got cutouts, stamps. I ended up receiving in a Happy Mail a napkin with the red, white, and blue on it. And so I did try to put some napkin over it to sort of mute it out a little bit because it was a little bright, but I did love it. So I didn't want to make it too obvious in your face. So we have this red, red, white, and blue thing sort of going here in the front. And then we go into our 4 signatures. So they're all attached. As we discussed in the original cover design, with our stretchy string. So they're in the middle of each one of these. I see we ended up with 4 signatures. I started out with 3 with you guys, and I realized when I went to a wider binding, we went from like a 1-inch that we were shoving in there to a 2-inch. I wanted to make sure we had enough pages in here. So I went with 4 and a 5th fun element on the end. I was going to do 5 signatures, which as you see, if I made them a little tighter, I could have gotten a 5th one in here. Instead, I turned the 5th signature into a memory pocket. It's not an insert because it is glued down. It is technically a 5th signature, but glued down on the back so it doesn't move around. And it is something that now has more journal space, so we didn't lose out on any of that. But it has these really fun little pockets I made. Again, using upcycled stuff. It is actually a cereal bag turned into pockets that are sewn in. And as you can see, we can put papers in them. I figured memorabilia, newspaper, articles, a number of things could be put in these bags. If it's something smaller that you don't want to fall out, then you could add in like Velcro sticky stamps. You could punch a hole through it and tie it down. If the things were small enough, you could make these a little bit more personalized depending what you want to put in them. But I felt like old papers, old newspaper articles, letters maybe. You had a few letters from somebody, maybe from grandpa or great-grandpa to grandma. Things like that. These were definitely for pockets to put things of memories during time of war, or if you went more World War I to that Vietnam, whatever, this was a great memory keeper. If this was more front lines, my mom's always been a nurse, or my family's always been nurses, then it was more that realm. I don't know. There's still so many aspects I think you can go with this. So I wanted to make these pockets. So you have 2 of those. Okay. It even comes with one of these lovely tea-dyed, looks like ledger paper a little bit. It's an interesting color. And it smells so good. One of my ladies who makes me dyed and coffee dyed paper actually used a scented one, and it smells so good. In the middle, though, of these pocketed journal section, I used a tea-dyed envelopes, made another journaling space, made it another pocket. So you have one of our double-sided journal cards in it right now. So there's plenty of room. And I actually did not cover the inside of this pocket because it had sort of a grungy black feel to it. The black pattern inside the envelope worked beautifully. It came out. That was just a sheer luck on that one. So more journaling space, right? So a pocket and some journaling space. This is my story. The following is based on actual events. Just a fun little section because I didn't want to just leave. I debated hundreds of times. Do I glue these together? Do I make it like an accordion folio? But then you were trying to maybe you were trying to struggle with this. I didn't know if I wanted to sew it in. All kinds of things. So our cute little journaling pocket is sewn in between the glassine cereal bag pockets, right? That are sewn together, sewn in so they don't fall out. And another pocket on the back with the decorative tags that I worked on yesterday, and another journaling card. So all the ephemera that comes in the Heroes in Retro kit is in here. You're only missing one piece. So that is sort of fun. I didn't know what to do with the triple large tags. So maybe I'll just shove it in there to whoever buys it can have that tag piece, and you can again decorate the ephemera as you see fit. I just didn't know what to do with it. I was getting to a point I wanted to keep this simple and not get too crazy with it. Now each signature has its pages, of course, has its cover, now I've folded these, I've opened these, I really made sure that you've got the flexibility to my best ability since we glue these into the tab accordions, and then you have the string to keep them in place. So I want to make sure you have plenty of journaling pages, right? You have some decorative. Okay. Again, more decorative, or more journal. And And then each signature has a piece of like decorative ephemera. So we have our belly band with another double-sided or instantly backed journal card, so they're nice and thick. A good memory. Things were all decorated with either the meshy fabric or the really pale white gauzy mesh. Tulle stuff, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so in this book you definitely have more journal space than, say, my last botanical one, which is very decorative. It became almost a lookbook more than a journal page, but there was more in there to journal on than we expected. But this one leaves a lot of room for memories and leaves a lot of room for you to decorate with anything, so that you can use these pages to glue on photos, glue on articles, glue on anything you want glued down that you may not need the front or back, you don't need the back to. You have the capability to, attach to this. I wanted to leave you guys the room to really work it. So signature number 2, again, nothing major. Oh, I was going to say, I didn't do anything to signature number 2. Nope, signature number 2 is on the back. It's the last page on this one. Took a cute little baggie, decorated it up, reinforced it, and then put all the cute little journal cards in here. So again, these are all been distressed. They're all ready to go. They're all backed a little bit, but they can still be printed on the back. And they can be written on. So you have all the stuff that you can jot down, do what you want, do what you need. Those are upside down. I don't know how I did that. So you have them to pull out and to jot stuff down on, and then put them on the pages as you see fit. So any vintage paper you have can make a great pocket on the pages that you want, and go ahead and tuck in your journal cards where you need them. Most of them are pretty similar. You have, a little bit of a tea-dyed paper. You have a construction paper. You have I'll show you that one second. This sort of marbled linen paper. So you have that in almost everything, so they're great, easy to write on pages. This one had a double pocket. We have another journal card, or journal tag, okay, lightly decorated, and on the other side has 2 pockets, or one pocket that's gussied a little bit, so that you can get these 2 totally fun, tags to journal on inside them. Okay, kept to our nursey theme here. I made sure it was very, bright and fun to look at. Last signature. Again, it's going to have the belly band with another journaling card in it. Right. Trying to and also trying to make sure I kept the weight sort of even, so that we weren't too heavy on either end. Since with this kind of, when you get the wider I noticed the wider this gets, the more flat this lays. So your signatures are going to sort of run one side or the other, and that's fine, or both. You can totally just open it up, flip it through, halfway through, whatever, and let it sit however you see fit if you want it. Sorry, my voice just went. If you want on your desk, and I'm coming off camera. Eek. So that's really the basics of it. You guys watch me through parts of this, so you can always go back. I can one more time go ahead and tag the tutorial right now in the video if you want to go back and look to see how I turned my 8.5 by 11 pages into more of a narrower traveler's notebook size. It's still probably a little wide for a standard traveler's notebook. These ended up page-wise 8 by 4.25, and a traveler's notebook in general, I know it's close to 9 inches tall, which we do have that. Let's see, yeah, we ended up exactly 9 inches tall, and we ended up, because of the cover, we still ended up 4 3/4 wide. So definitely smaller. We normally go at 9 by 6 for a standard journal, I guess. Gail's good for 9 by 6. I think so does Crafty Cat. Amy, we go 9 by 6 for our covers, and whatever 8 by whatever on the inside once we're all trimmed up. So these guys, on the other hand, are like 8 tall, but only about 4 to 4.25 wide. So it's a little bit narrower, and it's simply by folding 2 inches in the middle into an accordion effect to sort of help glue your pages in, and we're using the old Happy Planner Traveler Notebook feel with the stretchy lace to keep them in place, we get a feel of the traveler's notebooks. And it's a great way to reuse my papers. If my papers are directional and there's enough empty space in the middle of my pages, I don't go too crazy with all the florals, then folding it up or cording it up in the middle to make them a little narrower is a really easy thing to do. So definitely I'll put the tutorial up here in the cards, as they call them, here in the video. And at the end of it, I can go back to the cover. I mean, I know we've all seen it. I don't think I've really done much of anything else on camera except for the covers and the pages. So, but here it is in its final glory. It's the Heroes in Retro Traveler's Notebook, flipping it through, keeping it simple on the inside, really allowing for the pages to be the focal point for the color, for the imagery, a little bit of base decor, so just to hold the cards and the tags in place, so you have some writing. But the goal is really to leave you a lot of blank space to write on, to document all the things that you may want to remember from your grandparents, from your aunts or uncles, from your mom. Or maybe you're a military wife and it's more documenting the travels and the moves and the things that you've gone through with your husband, or with your father, if you were, as they call you, an army brat, which is sort of a weird term, but not, if you were an army brat or, a military kid. I don't know. I think, there's a lot of things on that at retrospect to document and share memories of. And then there's a lot of ladies out there who are nurses, and maybe their families, mom after mom after mom have been a nurse. And it's something that's like police officers. And that's a family trait. And wouldn't that be a fun thing to document throughout the generations of the heroic things that our ancestors and our family members as nurses have done throughout the years. So I hope you love this. I hope this has been a fun little mini series to watch, and I can't even call it a series because there's only a few videos, but hopefully you've enjoyed. Let me get this tied. This different theme, different genre, and as much as I have. And that if this interests you, and it speaks to you and gives interest to you, and you have a plan of attack for it, I will be putting this up for sale Sunday. I figured I'd give today and tomorrow for everybody to see the video, for the flip through, to see how I finished it off, so that you knew what it looks like and what we did with it. And if you're inspired by it, then you may take a shot at it and grab a hold of it. And so I will put it up. I will try to shoot for 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time here in the U.S. On Sunday. It is U.S. only at this time that I'm shipping to, only because I do not trust the Postal Service internationally. I'm having a hard time receiving things from a lot of the different carriers. No one's keeping to time frames. You guys are trying to promise one thing, and the carriers are doing whatever they like. So, and I don't know overseas how the weather is, so I always worry about traveling with this stuff. We have enough problems here in the United States. So at this time, I am still US based for my shipping. As I get into the new year and I find I'm doing more and more items that I'm creating and shipping out, then I may finally start working on the international concept. But for now, I will put this up for sale on Sunday for US only. And we will see if there's someone out there who is in love with this and needs it and has a plan of attack for it. So thank you so much for following along on this Friday morning. Hopefully it is not too hot for you. We're in the 90s here this weekend. Yay. I know others are East Coast and are trying to stay dry due to Elsa. I think it's Elsa. And the hurricane. So stay safe, stay dry. I say stay warm, but I don't think it's cold. So I think just stay dry. Just stay dry. Try to stay cool if you're in the 90s and 100s. Stay dry if you're over the East Coast. And thank you so much for watching this and looking through this with me. And I hope it sparks something, whether it's a grab the digitals, which will be listed below, and making your own memory keeper of this wonderful theme. Or whether you're like, nope, I don't want to do all the work, but I have great ideas for the journal, and I would love to purchase this. It'll be up for sale on Sunday, this Sunday, which will be the 11th of July. Oh my gosh. Before you know it, we're going to be halfway. Oh my gosh. Flying by. So thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking and commenting if you have a few moments. I really appreciate it. I feel like a wee sometimes. And yeah, that's it, ladies and gents. Thank you so much. And I will see you next week with a little Christmas in July. Cross your fingers. All right. Have a great day.